welcome to Traditional Painting the Digital Way. This is where I use digital painting apps to teach traditional painting techniques. In this video, we're going to be starting a brand new project, and we're going to be painting a woman playing a guitar on the beach. You can follow along with traditional materials at home if you like, and the app that we're going to be using is SketchAbul for Windows. The traditional materials that will probably work best for this project are acrylics and pastels. Here are some brushes that I use for my acrylics, and here are the colors that I use for my acrylic paint. Here's an example of the pastels that you can use. You can use chalk pastels or pencils, and make sure you have a blender. So here's the interface of SketchAbul for Windows. Now this is SketchAbul, not Sketchbook. SketchAbul is a program that's created mostly for Windows touchscreen tablets and devices. So here you can start a new project, and they have little journals, and you can choose the covers that you want, and then you choose the size that you want, and every page in that journal is that size. And I picked an 8.5 by 11 size for this one. And as you can see, you can look at the settings, and you can adjust things if you want to. You can adjust the background of your UI there, and you can also, if you want the dark and light theme, you can change that. You can work on the scale of the tools that are on your UI too. You can change all that. You can do several different things. It's really quite customizable. And then you can set up your stylus, and if you want touch and stylus enabled or just stylus. And you can do all kinds of different things, and the color picker is always floating. You can make it go away if you want to, but I like to have it up there in the corner. And so here I'm sketching the picture of the woman playing the guitar, and I got this picture from pixabay.com, which has royalty-free reference photos. And now SketchAbul doesn't have a reference window, and what I'm using here is called Pure Ref. And it's a free program that you can download, and it just floats above your main program, and you can put different photos in there if you want to, and increase the size on it or make them smaller. It's a really nice program, and like I said, it's free, but you can also donate to help out the developers, and I would recommend doing that because it's a really nice program. And so here I'm just finishing out the sketch, and you can use the pencil tool for that. And I'm just making kind of a really rough sketch right now, and you can just go ahead and use the eraser. They have the eraser, and I'm just kind of doing this like as if I were sketching it on a piece of paper right now. And I am using their pencil, and it also has a blender, kind of like a blending stump. And that works really nice too if you want to just kind of make it look like a pencil drawing. If you wanted to just do this whole piece in pencil, you could do it. SketchAbul has quite a few different brushes. It has your regular paintbrush, it has pencils, it has fine liner pens and dip pens, it has a pastel look, it also has the blending stump, and it's got an airbrush and of course an eraser, and these are all down there in the middle of the UI. And it also has a place where you can pick your color palette right there to the right. And then to the left at the bottom, that's your textures. And then here's the brush settings, and you can play around with the brush settings. You can change the shape of the tip of the brush. You can change the diameter, the angle, saturation. You can change the settings on your stylus, or you can use a mouse. Now mostly, like I said, this painting works with touch screens for Windows. It doesn't really work with older desktop computers, but it works with all the newer touch screens. And you can just play around with all the different settings here on your paintbrushes. And here I've got the paintbrushes open, and you can see there's about 8 options of different paintbrushes. And of course you can create your own if you want to by changing all these settings. So now that I've got the sketch of the woman done, I'm going to go ahead and work on the sky a little bit. And here's the layers palette. And you can change the order of the layers if you want to and blend them. There are several different blending modes on the layers as well. And here I'm just kind of playing around with trying to get the sky a nice light blue. And if you're following along at home, you would probably use your chalk pastels if you're using pastels, or a large flat brush to do the sky, and use a kind of a light blue or ultramarine blue with a lot of white in it if you're using acrylic. And then I just want to add some clouds to the background, and just a really off-white color here, a really light yellow probably would work for these clouds. And I'm kind of using the pastel brush here in Sketchable, and what I'll have to do is kind of draw it in and then sort of smooth it out with the blending tool. And you can kind of adjust all those things. You can adjust the opacity of the brush there, or the size of the brush with those sliders. And so I'm just going to go ahead and work some more on the clouds here, and just add some light pinks to the background too, right here. And I'm just kind of looking through the different pastels. I haven't been using this program a lot. This is sort of a learning experience for me, and they did a big update a few months ago, and I really haven't been playing around with it. So I'm actually learning a lot in this program as I do this project. And so I'm adding a little bit of yellow here, some oranges for the sky, cadmium oranges if you're following along with acrylics and whatever it will look like. And your pastels, they have different names, so whatever brand you're using. And then I'm just kind of adding that all together in the back, and I'm putting this on a separate layer here. And I'm making sure that my sketch is on the top still, because otherwise you get lost. If you cover up your sketch, try to keep your sketch on a separate layer so that you know what you're doing and that you don't get lost. And so here I threw in some purple, and now I'm starting to blend it. And as you can see, this is what it does. When you put it, there's 3 blending modes on Sketchable, and of course you can adjust them, I think, with textures and different things, but these are the 3 main blending modes. And as you can see, it blended out all the lines there in the sky and made it look a lot smoother there. And then here I'm trying to find out where the special shapes are, the guides. I wanted to do a circle guide for the sun right there. And so it's off to on the left side there, and you tap on the ruler, and that has the tools for the special shapes, and it has masking tools and all kinds of different things in it. And so I was using that to do the sun. And I'll go back and I'll kind of fuzz it out a little, not make it have so many hard edges, but I'm going to wait till the very last to do that. And then here I'm going back to the paint brushes again, and some of the brushes blend and some of them don't. The 4th brush, I think, is the one that is a blending brush. And of course you can always just use the blender for all of them, but the 4th one actually is a blending brush, and so I use it a lot, and the first 2 brushes. And I don't know what their names are supposed to be, but that's what I just call them, 1st, 2nd brushes, and the 4th brush. And then here I'm adding a little bit of yellow ochre, if you're following along traditionally with acrylics, to make the beach sand look here, and also make it look like the sun is shining on the ocean right there. And adding a little bit of blue into it to make it look like the ocean behind her, and Just kind of smearing that all together there. I just want to get kind of get those colors of the sunset in and make it look like it's reflecting off of the ocean behind her. And then I'm using a little bit darker colors for the sand, and you can throw in blues, purples, some dark browns. And the sand, it's good to use the pastel look in Sketchable for the sand because it gives it kind of a grainy look. So I like to use the pastel tool here for the sand, and you can pick the second or third option, just one of them that looks really grainy there. And of course I'm adjusting the size and the opacity there just to kind of get that grainy sandy look there. And as you can see, it looks like a sponge or something kind of, but it gives it a nice grainy look. And then you can go back with your blending tool and just go ahead and smooth out all the lines there. And of course this is only going to be the first layer. I'll be adding a little bit more highlights and shadows to the sand and as we continue onward. And so this is the end of part 1 of my Beach Guitarist series, and in part 2 we're going to be working on the woman and her dress and the guitar and just doing some of her hair and trying to get that figure underpainted. So thanks everybody for watching. If you want to catch the next episode, just hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments down below. And thanks everybody for your support, and I will catch you later.